Welcome to Good Living Concepts and Reliv International. I'm going to tell you about an incredible company that is changing lives all across the world. Reliv is a research-based food science company outside of St. Louis, Missouri. Been around 20 plus years, and we provide patented products for good nutrition. When Reliv found me, I was a business owner with my husband, and also my career in the past was 30 years as a dental hygienist. I was suffering with severe fatigue, depression, anxiety, brain fog, and dry eyes. And I had some very stressful times in my life, so it really accelerated those conditions. I was taking other forms of supplements, was not getting any help, and I simply went to a doctor and asked what else I could do, and he simply said, you need to be eating the best you've ever eaten in your life. And I knew that, but I wasn't accomplishing it. So I took the recommendations of a friend and started Reliv products. I knew they had a money-back guarantee, and because they were a food supplement in a powder form, I also knew that the absorption would be better. So my expectations were really not to get any better. I was just hoping not to get worse, and was humbled and pleasantly surprised when in just a few weeks' time the condition I had with my dry eyes the symptoms were gone, and I have not been on those two medications ever since. Reliv does not cure anything, because if I don't take my shakes, all those conditions come back, but it's fulfilling what my body's lacking. Several months later, the energy came back, my depression had lifted, my brain fog had lifted. I just felt myself again, and I never did go on those depression medications that were recommended. Reliv does not cure or diagnose or treat any kind of disease, but what it does do is provide optimal nutrition that our body needs to perform. And when you do this, your body does amazing things. Today, I feel better in my 50s than I did in my 30s and 40s. I only visit my physician for well checks, and I see Reliv as my future for quality health.
And I have a condition called fibromyalgia. And this condition left me in 24/7 head-to-toe pain. It robbed me of sleep. It made moving difficult. It hurt to sit still. Every simple task in life was enormous and huge and hurt to do. And I was looking for answers. I was very fearful for my future. I didn't know what was ahead of me, but as I looked ahead, I saw more pain as I aged, and that very much concerned me. So since being on these products, my life has totally changed. I'm no longer in that pain. I have wonderful energy. I sleep like a baby. It doesn't hurt to move. It doesn't hurt to sit still. I enjoy my life so much. I can do all those simple tasks that were so hard to do, and on top of that, on top of being able to take care of my home now, I can work out and weight train. I get up every day and I have choices to live my life the way I want to, and my choices are no longer dependent on a condition and what it will or will not let me do. I'm no longer a prisoner in my own body. And I'm so thankful for these products. They were an answer to prayer, and I don't know what I would do without them.
I was introduced to Reliv's basic nutritional supplements about 17 years ago when I was flying for the Air Force and struggling with a blood pressure and cholesterol problem. I was also not sleeping well and was tired all the time and snacking on a lot of the junk food. My neighbor suggested I might get some real help with these products, and within weeks I was noticing some nice changes. Within months I had a correction to my blood pressure and cholesterol. They went back to normal. I never had to get on the medication.
I have a background in nursing and an author. I'm an author, and I just couldn't think or function to do the self-checkout at the grocery store. It was just too complicated from the brain fog and exhaustion. So I started on the products, and within a very short period of time, eczema I've had on my hands since I was a little girl disappeared, and that was so exciting to me. I also found myself at the self-checkout actually trying to check out the groceries. That migraines I've had disappeared. I no longer have migraines. I get very few headaches, and I had been having daily headaches from sinus congestion. I no longer need any of my allergy medications I've been on since I was a child, and I feel better than I did as a cheerleader. But the most exciting results have been my son, who's autistic. He is now showing affection for the first time in over 5 years. And instead of hitting us, he's taking our hand and looking to our eyes and smiling, and been able to get off all his behavior medications. So my family's just loving these products, and they're keeping us very healthy and away from the doctors.
Got on the Reliv products 2.5 years ago, and I've been a type 1 insulin-dependent diabetic for 38 years. 16 years ago, I had laser treatment on my eyes for diabetic retinopathy, and my eyes were left with tension on the retina. After 6.5 months on the Reliv products, I went into my ophthalmologist, and he was amazed that there was no longer any tension on my retina and said it was the best my eyes had looked. I suffered also from diabetic neuropathy in my feet. The bottom of my feet were numb. And it took 14 months, but I started getting the feeling back in my feet. And I just had a visit with my doctor, and I was able to identify all the spots on the bottom of my feet where she touched me. And so she was amazed, and I was amazed that I've got all the feeling back in the bottom of my feet and mobility in my toes. Also, I suffered from low blood sugars, 40 to 50 low blood sugars a month, which is a nightmare for a diabetic. And after just 3.5 months on the products, those low blood sugars had reduced to the point where just 3 to 4 a month now. And with that much of a change in a diabetic's life, there's no way I'll ever stop taking these products.
I started with the Reliv products about 3.5 years ago. I had been on high cholesterol medication for 10 years. I was susceptible to severe bronchitis because I have COPD, and I developed type 2 diabetes because of all the steroids I was taking. I also have a problem with gout, and I started on the products 3.5 years ago. In 4 months, I had my blood checked. My doctor took me off my cholesterol medication. I've been free of that medication now for 3.5 years. My cholesterol, I've maintained that at a good level. In the 3.5 years I've been on the products, I have not had one serious case of bronchitis, which means I've stayed out of the hospital twice a year. Because I'm off of the steroids with my bronchitis, my type 2 diabetes has gone away. The 3 medications I was on for gout, I am no longer on those. My doctor took me off those medications, and I have not had a case of gout in 3.5 years. I am so grateful that I found these products. They have been life-changing for me, and I would never get off of these.
So we are just so grateful for these products. I mean, little did I know, the very same thing that I took for my seasonal allergies, my bladder infections, would be the very, very same thing I give to my son for his traumatic brain injury. And that just really, really affirmed in me what the registered nurse said to me when I first got started on the products. You know, I asked her, how can these products be so good for so many different issues? And I'll never forget what she said. She said, you know, God designed our bodies to run on food, and that's what we have here. You know, good, wholesome food. It's nutrition, you know, the nutrients out of those food. And our bodies takes that and puts it to use wherever our issues happen to be. And so we are so grateful for this company called Reliv.
And before Reliv, I was kind of like an unhealthy 85-year-old woman in a 41-year-old body. I couldn't dress myself. I had to have help to walk, to put my shoes and socks on. I was in so much pain. I'd been suffering from an autoimmune disorder for 27 years, and it just gradually stole my life away from me. Started on these products, and in 3 months I was pain-free for the first time in 17 years and healthier than I've been in 27. I'd no longer deal with allergies, sinus infections, IBS, sciatica, tinnitus. It has just given me a quality of life that I never thought I'd see again, and I'll never be without these products.
My background as an educator, I was really concerned about what was going on with the children I was servicing. I had been directing a preschool for about 12.5 years at the time I found these products, and I was really concerned about all the medication I was giving to kids every single day. But I was exhausted. I was 45 years old. I took a nap every day. 2:30 in the afternoon, I wanted to find a place to lay down. So I was pretty tired. But I had some things I considered nuisance issues in my life. I was dealing with urinary tract infections on a regular basis and strep throat as well. I would get medicated for those, and then I would end up with a yeast infection. I had nail fungus in my hands and feet, and it was just annoying. I had a lot of precursors to arthritis, like my parents were dealing with. So when I got on these products, I really was kind of considering they would be exactly the same as the vitamins I'd been taking. But I'll tell you, very quickly on the products, my nap disappeared, and I had energy. I was running up and down my steps. And in the last 6 years since I've been on Reliv, I haven't had one urinary tract infection or a case of strep throat. My nail fungus in my hands and feet are gone, and I'm really grateful that I found these products. They'll be a part of our lives forever.
I hope those stories blessed your life. Reliv does not make any claims or cures. It's just great nutrition for your body. Your body knows what to do with it. So if anything you have heard here interests you, please feel free to give us a call.